Ladies and gentlemen, now that the Nintendo Switch is in its 7th year, it's safe to say the console is a success. Coming from the failure that is the Wii U, Nintendo really needed a win, and the Nintendo Switch did that for them. So in today's video, I thought it would be fun to go and look at the highest selling Switch games of all time, like the games that have sold the most, and to look at the Switch and see how much that's sold, and just to go over the console that is a Nintendo Switch. My name is Robot Joe and I'm your host as always. Let's go ahead and get started. Yeah, it's safe to say, the Nintendo Switch is a success. Now, like I said, coming from the Wii U, that wasn't a sure thing, but it really did kind of save Nintendo. So let's look at how much the Switch has sold itself, and let's look at the highest selling Switch games. Before we get started, make sure you hit a like and subscribe, follow me on Instagram, and let's get right into it. This is a little off, but as of like March or April, the Nintendo Switch has sold 125 million units. That is a staggering number. Now I wonder, does that include like the Switch Lite, the Switch OLED? Like, is it all one thing? I would assume so, right? The best selling console still is the Nintendo DS at 154 million units. That is freaking crazy. Will the Switch pass that? I don't know. I think we could safely assume at least 140 million, right? Look at the Wii U, 13 million units. That is pretty crazy. And then the GameCube, 21 million units. I always thought the GameCube was like super well loved, and I guess that was just me at the time. Looking back, people enjoy it, but at the time I feel like people, I guess, didn't care about the GameCube. Pretty crazy stuff. We'll go over this maybe in another video more in depth, but I really am here to see the highest selling games. So let's check it out. So at number 1 we have Mario Kart 8 Deluxe at 53 million copies. That is freaking insane. You have to remember, this is almost a 10-year-old game that was on the Wii U. They just brought a Wii U game over, resold it, and sold almost 54 million copies of the game. That's hard for me to wrap my head around. That is pretty freaking crazy. It is a good game, but 54 million copies, man, we're probably never getting another Mario Kart. Number 2 is kind of surprising, and we have Animal Crossing at 42 million copies. Now we do have to remember this game launched right at the start of the pandemic, and people had nothing but time on their hands, so this was the perfect game, kind of to just live out your life, like simulate something. You couldn't go outside and do stuff, so you could do it in this game. I played this game pretty much every day for about a month, got insanely bored of it, but I know there's still people to this day that have been playing since day one, and that's pretty cool. 42 million copies, crazy. Number 3, Super Smash Bros. 31 million copies. I don't know if I feel like it should be higher or lower. I don't know. I just feel like this is out of place for some reason. 31 million copies, not bad. This is, in my opinion, I guess the best and greatest Smash game of all time. So 31 million copies is nothing to like frown at. That's amazing. Number 4 is Breath of the Wild, almost at 30 million copies. That is crazy that Zelda is as popular as it is. I mean, I'm a Zelda fan. It's my favorite franchise. It is just crazy to see as popular as it has became. You know, I've been playing, I think the first Zelda game I ever played was Ocarina of Time, and since then I went back and played all the previous games and the modern games. I've pretty much played every Zelda game to ever exist. 30 million copies, pretty crazy. Pokemon Sword and Shield. It is weird that Pokemon every year that they release a Pokemon game, they're like, not only are you buying one game, you're going to buy 2, because we're just going to put like a couple different Pokemon in each game, and we're going to finesse you, and you dumbasses are going to buy it up every time. 25 million copies. I wonder which one sold more, like Sword or Shield, but 25 million copies still is pretty freaking crazy. Pokemon, you bastards, you've got it figured out, the infinite money glitch. Next we have Super Mario Odyssey. Yeah, this is kind of low in my opinion. 25 million copies. I mean, that's amazing. It's 25 freaking million copies of a game, but I don't know. I just feel like it would be higher. I feel like this would have been like the 2nd or 3rd best selling game on the Switch. When you think of a Nintendo Switch, you think of Breath of the Wild, Mario Kart, and Super Mario Odyssey. I honestly thought this would be higher than Smash Brothers, but 25 million copies, not bad. We need a new mainline Mario game, and I feel like we're not getting it until the launch of the next Nintendo console. So this is pretty insane. The 7th best selling Switch games of all time is Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, and these released in November, so not a full year. That's what I'm talking about. People are going to buy it up every time. Pokemon Scarlet and Violet are still broken to this day, and it doesn't matter because I bought it myself. I can't even talk down on the people who buy it because I bought it. I enjoyed it, but I know the game is not like proper. 22 million copies in less than a year. Holy shit. Alright, this is cool. Super Mario Party. this, if I'm thinking correctly, is the second Mario Party that released on the Switch. So if I'm remembering correctly, the first one was called Mario Party Superstars, and it was okay at best. This is the one where they have like 100 different mini games from multiple generations of consoles. This was a proper Mario Party game, and that's awesome to see that it did it so well. Almost 20 million copies. So a game that is taking me by surprise. I'm not really sure how this is even this high up. New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe. Again, this is a game that has been since, if I'm not remembering incorrectly, all the way since the Nintendo DS, they've had New Super Mario Bros. This is New Super Mario Bros. U, so the Wii U version, Deluxe. It's all the same shit. This game has been released on the DS, on the Wii, on the Wii U, on the Switch, probably on the 3DS. 15 million copies for the same freaking game that's just been there forever. In my opinion, this is the most soulless Mario game to ever exist. I'm not saying these games are bad, but I freaking hate how bland and unforgettable they are. I'm hoping with Super Mario Wonder that comes out, I think at the end of the year, I'm hoping that will cleanse the palate because it looks cool. It's almost like Mario on hallucinogens or something, but if this shows up on the next Nintendo console, that's it. I'm filing a complaint. That's it. I'm going to Nintendo in Japan. I'm going to fly over there and say, hey, no more. This is not allowed. And the 10th best-selling game on the Switch. Blows my freaking mind. Ring Fit Adventure. This, when it launched, I believe was $80. I think it's like $60 for the game and an extra $20 for this, or you could buy it all for like $70 or $80. I bought it at my old apartment when I lived there, and I would use it. I lived in the middle floor, and I would like bang on the floor, so I felt guilty about using it, but it truly would have me like pouring sweat, and I felt like it really could get somebody in shape. It is an amazing concept. It was fun, it was addicting, but like I said, I just lived on the middle floor of an apartment, and I felt rude using it, kind of, so I ended up selling it. But 15 million copies, this is, if you had to ask me to guess off the top of my head how many people had bought Ring Fit Adventure, off the top of my head, I would say 1 million copies maybe. Think about all the other great amazing Switch games like Luigi's Mansion, Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee. I'm trying to think of super popular games, like some Fire Emblem stuff, Bayonetta, like all these great games on the Switch, and Ring Fit is the 10th best-selling game. Now, I have an honorable mention because the game's only been out for 2 months, but in the first 2 days, week, something like that, Tears of the Kingdom sold 10 million copies. It's been 2 months since that number. I have to assume it's at least 15 million by this point, maybe closer to 20 million. I know Nintendo's waiting off to hold those numbers, maybe for like a stock shareholder meeting or something, but I have to assume Tears of the Kingdom is up at least in the 10th spot by now, maybe higher, so I can't wait for those numbers to come out. Ladies and gentlemen, what do you think? Do you own any of these top 10 Switch games? What game do you think deserves to be on this list? In the comments below, please let me know. I'd love to hear your opinion. This is a lot of fun going over this. I think I want to do this with the best-selling Nintendo consoles as well, or maybe the best-selling consoles. That would probably be more fun, so I'll probably do that for a future video. Guys, if you enjoy gaming news, gaming stories, and Nintendo Switch content, then you are in the right place, so hit a like and subscribe. Follow me on Instagram so we can keep the community growing, and you guys know me. I'll see you soon with a new video. Peace out.